if you're the guy grinding 50, 60 hours a week and just hanging out in the wrong crowds, you could even be abusing alcohol or dopamine hits just to cope with your reality. And you're ultimately feeling like you're burning out and falling behind. Let me tell you, there's nothing wrong with you, my friend, and you're not broken. What's going on is you're trapped in what is called the fear box. Now, this is a system that wires you to self-sabotage yourself. It's built on the back end of the hustle culture. It's built on the back end of people pleasing, and it's built in this survival mode conditioning space. The fear box really convinces you that burnout equals progress. Completely false. And it keeps you operating from your reptilian brain, living in fear instead of living in your true identity of love and peace. Maybe you're at a crossroads in your career. You could be feeling disconnected from your soul, and you're terrified that one day you may wake up at 80 years old realizing, man, I never really lived my life. Today, we're going to break through all of that. Now, this is the Ignite333 Framework. This is a system that I've already helped over 100 men to install in their life, to help them rediscover their true identity and to build something backed by their passion that creates a simple way for them to get more cash flow in their life while working half the amount of time. Throughout the entire system and process, you get to join like-minded other individuals and be a part of our brotherhood. Now, let me tell you, as a few years ago, I looked extremely successful on paper. I was right on path to the American dream. I had bought a home. I was working what other people thought was a dream job in a 9-to-5 situation, and I was climbing the corporate ladder. But my life was not what I actually wanted. It was what other people may have wanted. And that slowly led to me abusing alcohol and drugs to try to escape from the life that I was living. I would skip meditations. Sometimes I'd skip breakfast. I wouldn't eat dinner. And I would go on benders over the weekend because in that escape, I found that that was a place that I could be. And I could escape from myself, my true self, through just chasing highs. Man, I was ultimately trapped in the fear box, and I needed to find a way to break through it. Through my alcohol and drug abuse struggles, I just kept feeling like I was trying to escape the glaring reality of my life. And I started self-sabotaging everything good that I had going because I really lacked a sense of self. I didn't know who I really was without the chaos of the alcohol, the chaos of the drugs, the chaos of the benders. I was living this life by default versus by design. And I knew it was time to make a change. So that is when I stopped chasing a life that wasn't mine. And I started to do the deeper work to figure out what my actual identity was. After doing that deeper work, I started traveling, and I've been grateful to have traveled to 33 countries. I've now studied Vipassana meditation under Thai Buddhist monks in Thailand. I've taught English in Prague, and I, throughout the entire time, began to build a 6-figure brand identity agency that allows me to work with businesses and coaches that are actually aligned to who I really am. I'm so grateful for that. And today, I'm going to hand you the blueprint so that you can start to live a life like that, a life by design rather than this life by default. If that's not something you're interested in, you can just move on to the next video. You don't have to be here. Just move on. But if you're ready to improve and ultimately lead your life, stick around. This Ignite333 framework is rooted in deep psychology, spiritual alignment, and business clarity. It's inspired by some of the greats like Tony Robbins' triad psychology, Simon Sinek's purpose first thinking, and Jay Shetty's soul-led philosophy. But it's really built for the modern man who's dealing with everything that's going on with society right now. It's going to help you lead versus not chase. So let's talk about this fear box and how it fuels self-sabotage. It tells you constantly, I'm not doing enough. I'll be rejected if I slow down. I need to do more to show and feel that I am worthy. So you try to do more. You try to chase, you continue to hustle, and you start to work on someone else's dream rather than doing something that is aligned with your true identity. This is what I did at one point. I worked a 9-to-5 in what everyone thought was my dream job. But what it did was make me feel empty inside. And it got me off track from my good habits. I would miss workouts. I would miss meditations. I would spend all night up doing things that weren't feeling ultimately my best self. And I was in a space of fear of being successful because I knew that the success of that life was not the success that my soul ultimately wanted. And let me tell you, this is not a discipline problem. It's an identity misalignment. It's when you start living life by default instead of design. Now, to win, you need to break out of this fear box and this way of thinking and install a new system where your habits and your energy and your mission are finally aligned with your true identity. So here's the Ignite333 Framework breakdown. It starts with 3 focus points. Each quarter, you identify your North Star. It's your why. It's what's guiding you on your path. You cut out all the noise. No more doom scrolling. No more focusing on things that aren't fostering and enhancing your life. And you ultimately create clarity from that. There's 3 weekly rituals as well. There's a Sunday shift planning, which gets you ahead of all of your competition and everybody else who starts on Monday. You start on Sunday. There's gratitude journaling, a daily gratitude journal prompt, and a way to constantly wake up and go to sleep with gratitude. And there's hybrid athlete workouts that allow you to do small, incremental step workouts that allow you to start to think and feel like a hybrid athlete. Most importantly, there's 3 execution levers. Now, this is how you create your signature offer, how you build out your flagship content, and also how you build out your mission for your business, your personal brand, or whatever it is you're going to do for your passion project. Now, let me tell you, there was a guy who worked 55 hours. He came to us. We cut his work hours in half, and we installed the Ignite333 for him. In just 6 weeks, he freed up so much time, and he became the leader of his life. He started showing up for his best self, not only for himself, but his family and for his friends. And we helped him launch a 10K per month passion project. Now, he went from living by default to living by design. That's identity transformation in action. Now, if you're ready to escape the fear box, to rediscover your true identity, and to finally align with your mission, drop Ignite in the comments below, or just DM me on Instagram. I'll send you the full Ignite333 toolkit so that you can become the leader of your life and start living by design, not default. Your transformation from lost and unfulfilled to a conscious entrepreneur who knows exactly who he is and leads his life on purpose starts today.